Let's talk a little bit about Strider for the arcade. Let's set the stage. It's 1989. You're busy replaying Mega Man 2 and Super Mario Bros. 2. At the same time, the Genesis is already out. You don't have one, but your friend has one. I mean, technically Strider came out a little bit before the Genesis, but they both came out in '89. Stay with me here. There's also this thing called the TurboGrafx 16, but you've never seen one before. The arcade is dominated by a few shoot-'em-ups, but it's mostly racing games. So you're lazily browsing your local arcade, which is to say, an arcade attached to a mall or a pizza restaurant, and you come upon this machine. It's an arcade game which looks like a game from the future. Everything is huge and everything explodes. Now I pose you the question, which way do you go? Strider to me has always been interesting, perhaps because it's something I have no nostalgia for. Like many people I'd guess, I first became familiar with the character in Marvel vs. Capcom. The character's appearance there seemed fully fleshed out already, and I'd honestly say it's Strider here used most iconic appearance. And here's a little history tidbit for you. I remember renting Strider 2 from the video store when it came out in 1999. Strider 2 came with 2 discs, one with Strider 2 and one with the original Strider. However, quite famously, all of the copies of the original print had the labels reversed, so that the label that said Strider 2 was actually original Strider, and vice versa. I started playing with the Strider 2 disc, but I was actually playing Strider 1. Stay with me here. So I'd never actually played Strider 1, so I thought I was playing Strider 2, and that they had just decided to make the sequel just really old school. Anyway, I eventually put in the other disc and found out. So, I was a part of gaming history. So, Strider 1. It really feels like a lost game. It came out with such force and momentum, but then sort of dissipated solemnly into the long halls of gaming's forgotten franchises. I don't have the energy to go into the NES Strider or the unlicensed sequel it had on the Genesis, but besides the notion that it wasn't very popular, I would posit that it fails to even be itself, fails to be Strider when not presented on the larger-than-life arcade platform. And, by 1991 and the release of the Super NES, the arcade was effectively dead, at least in the West. It really has everything though. It plays like a platformer, but has shooter upgrade mechanics. It has really great impenetrable cutscenes with voices that would be completely indecipherable without the subtitles. It has great set-piece style sequences and boss fights. Look at this boss, where this kind of evil senate all combine to form a ferocious dragon. You can climb on everything. I mean, it certainly has issues too. I wouldn't say it's a must-play for every type of player in any way, but it has a lot of remarkable features. I've probably only played it all the way through 2 or 3 times, and I always get stuck at this part of the Capcom gauntlet where you have to refight this T-Rex. And if you die, you have to go all the way to a checkpoint, so you keep marching on to your death with no power-ups. You know, while making this video, I found a number of songs that I didn't remember from the game. I discovered that the Revision 1 version of the game, which is what I played, includes a number of audio bugs, including swap tracks and the voices not playing correctly. I don't know why I didn't notice that the final level, final boss, and the credits all had the same music, which was actually a song from Stage 1, but now it makes a lot more sense. For my MAME enthusiasts out there, look for Revision 3. So I didn't really do any research for this video, so instead of presenting any research, I'll share the burning questions that might have been the starting point for research. I'm curious how established this sort of platforming arcade format was. I know Ghouls 'n Ghosts had just come out the year previous, but I would say that game is a little bit more sadistic. And is there any precedent for such large-scale boss battles like we see in this game? I'm also curious as to whether it actually was popular in its time, or if it only survived in the public consciousness due to the success of the Genesis port. Brave viewer, I'll leave you to ponder these questions on your own. As always, I'm Corey OTM, thanks for watching.